key reliever is unlikely to return to the Dodgers. We are going to fix the Dodgers' biggest issue and what they need to do against the Padres to get back into first place and why it is extra important to do something very specific in the next 2 weeks to win this division. Also, an update on Roki Sasaki, a jam-packed off-day episode of Dodgers Dugout Live.
It's time for Dodger baseball.
Welcome to Dodger Stadium.
This is the golden age of Dodger baseball. The Dodgers are building a dynasty.
You got it, Roy, the parade. We got it, parade. The Dodgers punch back and head to the championship series. Ohtani starts the 50-50 club. Mookie Magic. Freeman hits the ball. Right field. She is gone. Start the party, Los Angeles. Your Dodgers have won the World Series.
Think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out. What is up, Dodgers Nation, and welcome to Dodgers Dugout Live, the #1 Dodgers podcast and Dodgers show on YouTube. My name is Doug McKain. You can follow me on X and Instagram at Dmac_LA. I cover the Dodgers for Dodgers Nation, credential member of the media. Also, if you're new to the channel, do me a huge favor. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the notification bell. If you are a longtime viewer, if you watch every single day, and you want to know how you can support every single episode, support the channel, hit the subscribe button, and also drop a comment down below. Subscribe to the Big Lead. Subscribe to our Discord channel. Definitely go ahead and do that. I see some comments down below. I know it's not fun. We got Eddie Quino. What up, Dmac? I did have nightmares last night. I believe this will be a good weekend. Okay. I like that. Some positivity. Some Mitch, a lot of half full takes. We got Nando. Dmac had to take Pepto-Bismol after the Adrian Gonzalez pizza. No, that pizza was good. It really, really was. I liked it. Go check it out. It's good times. We've got Dmac, our boys in blue, need to turn this around ASAP. Dmac, we are Cook, brother. That's from Colby. We got Superstar. Why is our bullpen so utterly incompetent? Dmac, what's up? Dmac, where do you sit during the games? I sit in the press box. It's overlooking the home plate right up there in the loge. Thank you, fans. Okay, I like it. Some vibes carrying over from yesterday. Some people saw the sun come up today and said, okay, it's going to be a better day and a better weekend. The Dodgers an opportunity to get back into first place. So we've got so much to get into. Lots to touch on this off-day episode. Also have a designated Twitter, the best of Dodgers social media, that we'll get into later. We got the 7th inning stretch where I take all of your comments and questions, all of your hot takes, anything you got about your boys in blue. We'll get into that later. But we've got so much Dodger baseball to get into, so let's get right into it.
Leading off, the hottest story in Dodger baseball.
So the hottest story in Dodger baseball is that, yes, the Dodgers are in second place. It does not feel good. It doesn't feel familiar, but it is where they are. The Dodgers at 68-53, one game behind the San Diego Padres at 69-52. And yes, this is a Padres team that has played great baseball for a couple of months now. There's a Dodgers team that has struggled for a couple of months now. They've gone 12-21 since July 4th. It is the worst 33-game stretch for this team since 2017. And it's the first time that the Dodgers have been in second place in the National League West since all the way back in 2021, July 8th, 2021. And that was the year that the San Francisco Giants, you had a different manager, you had a different GM, you had Farhan up there. We had the most yoked manager that you've ever seen, your wife or girlfriend's favorite manager of the Giants back in the day. It feels like a long time ago that we had that. But, yeah, it was different times back then when that Giants team really just pulled it off, and they had themselves a really, really good year that year. Gabe Kapler and that gang, I mean, give them credit, but the Dodgers, they got the last laugh when they won the NLDS in 2021. So this is not what you expect from a Dodgers team that heading into the season. What was the storyline? What was the narrative? It was the Dodgers have ruined baseball. The Dodgers have signed all of the players. They haven't left any stars left there's no stars left for the rest of the teams. All the superstars are on the Dodgers now. The Dodgers had ruined baseball in the offseason last year. And now what? Are the Dodgers still ruining baseball? Are people talking about that anymore? I haven't heard that very much. That narrative has kind of gone away because of the Dodgers' struggles, and it just goes to show that a lot goes into a 162-game season. A lot goes into trying to repeat, and guess what? The Dodgers didn't ruin baseball. They tried to assemble a roster in the offseason that was foolproof of not having injuries and the type of depth and the kind of struggles that some of these guys have had. Yeah, unfortunately, they've had their issues this season for a lot of different reasons. But the truth is, when you look at where this Dodgers team's at, a couple of things come to mind. And we'll talk about the trades and the ones they didn't make and the current state of the bullpen, all that good stuff. But the truth of the matter is right now you're in a position with 41 games to play. You're one game behind the San Diego Padres, and you still have all of your preseason goals ahead of you. And that goal was to win another world championship. And yes, there's going to be some adversity. Yes, it's going to take a lot to get there. But let's take a look at how the rest of the season plays out. Because you've got 6 games against the San Diego Padres starting tomorrow at Dodger Stadium, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And then the following weekend down in San Diego. And after you get through that stretch, the schedule does lighten up, and yes, that schedule is going to include teams that want to ruin the Dodgers season, division opponents, but you have 7 games against the Colorado Rockies, who, ironically, have around the same record as the Dodgers in the last month plus, which is pretty hilarious, but still they are the Rockies. And then you have 7 games against the Giants, who their season, SF stands for season finished. We know that Oracle Park is going to turn into a Spirit Halloween Superstore soon, like it does essentially every year in the last decade. And then you've got 6 more games against the Diamondbacks. So you've got division opponents that have all struggled, that have all pretty much fallen out of contention. And the other big thing that the Dodgers have here is, look, I mean, yes, the Padres are a tough opponent. There's no doubt about that. I mean, they loaded up, the additions they made, Sears and Fermin and O'Hearn and Laureano and Miller. I mean, they've had success with these guys, a completely overhauled roster. There's no doubt about that. But let's not forget, Dodgers Nation, that the Dodgers put some money in the bank early on in the year in their matchups against San Diego. Heading into the 3-game series this weekend, the Dodgers have gone 5-2 against the Padres this year. So, yes, you want to go 6-0. Yes, you want to go 5-1, 4-2, and give yourself a nice little cushion in the National League West down the stretch when your opponents have a winning percentage of .468, and you can wrap up the division, hopefully, with a massive, massive 2-week stretch here against the Padres. But at the very minimum, the key number is 2. If you get 2 wins against the Padres, well, then you have won the season series. And if you win the season series, then you have the tiebreaker. So if this team is neck and neck with the Padres down the stretch and you're scoreboard watching, you're going back and forth, well, if you finish with the same record, the Dodgers will have that tiebreaker. So it's essentially good for an extra game. So that's why it's essential that the bare minimum is just to not get swept in both series. And at the very minimum, you need to take 2 games against San Diego. And if you take those two games, at the very least, you're kind of right there in the mix. Your schedule lightens up. If it's close, you win the division, and that's what's incredibly important. And then we talked yesterday about the wild card situation that the Dodgers are in currently. And yes, it does feel weird to look up the wild card standings as it pertains to the Los Angeles Dodgers. And right now, they are the second wild card team. They're at 68 and 53, a half game behind the Chicago Cubs, are at 68 and 52, and then you got the Mets behind them at 64 and 56. So the Dodgers still have a really awesome chance to win the division. They have an awesome chance to go out there and hopefully win another World Series, but a lot of work has to be done. But for anyone out there that thinks that the Dodgers are going to miss the playoffs, that would have to be a complete, utter, historic downfall and collapse by an organization that has made the postseason the last 12 years. It has 11 division titles in the last 12 years. Only one they lost was in 2021 when they finished second place and won 106 games to the Giants 107, and we knew they were doing some voodoo magic. They were throwing a bunch of goats in McCovey Cove, or doing some weird black magic stuff. Who knows what it was? But based on FanGraphs right now, the Dodgers have a 99.1% chance to make the playoffs. They also have the advantage over the Padres when it comes to winning the division. The Dodgers have a 61.8% chance of winning the division, and they're still in all of Major League Baseball. You look at the entire league, the Dodgers still have the best chance of winning the World Series based on FanGraphs model at 17.1%. So I know it's doom and gloom. I know this feels like this incredible collapse, and this team has not played good baseball for a long time. Let's not sugarcoat this. It's not a couple of days, a couple of weeks. It's been more than a month that this team has played below average baseball, not to their level. And things can change. I mean, you look at where this team was back a couple of years ago, when you had momentum in the regular season and then you lost momentum in the postseason. I mean, we saw in 2014, the end of that year, Clayton Kershaw against the Giants, and that team doing what they did in 2014 to have that momentum in the postseason. Then what happened? We saw in 2017, losing 16 out of 17, losing 11 in a row. What happened during that stretch? You went on to go to the World Series. So really a lot changes during the course of a season, and that vibe can shift very, very quickly. And this is a Dodgers team that has a championship DNA. You still have your core intact. You still have a lot of talent that wasn't on this team last year that's on this team this year that can help them win. And I just don't think it's time to act like this is a done season. It's not the time to say, oh, post the thank you fans graphic, or, oh, it's going to be 1-2-3 Cancun. I've been a Dodgers fan long enough, and by long enough, I mean my entire existence, to know that we know that this is a Dodgers team that sometimes in the regular season it's going great, and then it falls apart, and sometimes in the regular season it looks like it's falling apart, and then it can turn great. Look at the 2022 team. Oh, that 110-plus win team, right? I mean, the 2022 Dodgers. Everyone thought that team going to go down. Best team ever. 111 wins that season. Couldn't get out of the NLDS, and everyone blamed the big gap between the end of the regular season and the start of the division round. And we've seen teams just kind of go in different directions. I look at the fact that this team still has incredible upside talent, high ceiling guys that you just need them to get hot. You need them to get healthy. And I still feel like this team has as good of a chance as any team in Major League Baseball right now to go and win the World Series. It's not all for naught. I mean, let's just be honest about that. This team is still a very talented group. So let me know down below in the comment section. I mean, what do you think about this team? And how long have you guys been? I mean, who remembers 2013? Who remembers 2013? In 2013, the Dodgers went 42-8 in a 50-game stretch from June 22nd to August 17th. And it was, wow, Dodgers summer. Wow, best team ever. Wow, the Dodgers are going to go back to the World Series. And then what happened? What happened? You lost to the St. Louis Cardinals. And it got ugly. I mean, who remembers that 9-0 loss at the end of that one? I mean, the point I'm trying to make is you can't live on the day-to-day results of the regular season. You have to capture that postseason magic if you're going to make a deep run, and you can't capture that postseason magic on August 13th and August 14th in the middle of August. You just can't do it. You got to stay the course. You got to get healthy, and you have to find a way to overcome the issues you've had this season. That's what we're going to switch to next, because the issue with the Dodgers right now is you didn't get great starting pitching during the Angels series, and you have for a while now. The starting pitching has improved quite a bit. But Yamamoto, he gave up 6 runs in 4 2/3 innings. And then we saw Emmet Sheehan gave up 5 runs in 5 innings. Yesterday, Shohei Ohtani, yes, not good defense from Teoscar Hernandez that led to some runs there, and he was dominant at times throughout his start, but still, you're not getting length. Emmet Sheehan, 5 runs, 5 innings. Shohei Ohtani, his start, lots to love, but still not going deep into that one. Still not able to complete those 5 innings. And when you're a starting pitching group that has taxed this bullpen all season long, it should have come as a surprise, and I get it. It always feels like what can go wrong will go wrong, and then this team continues to find different ways to lose late because you're not getting the production and the performances from the bullpen that you've been hoping to get, but they're missing key guys, and you need these key guys back to really feel good about your chances of finishing strong this year and going back to back. So let's talk about that next. Who are those key guys? When are they coming back? Well, the first one is definitely one that we can check off this list in a bad way, and that is about Brusdar Graterol. Brusdar Graterol had surgery on his labrum, shoulder surgery. He was supposed to be back at some time in September, but Dave Roberts said yesterday, quote, "It is possible he doesn't come back. It's kind of just where he's been, kind of his whole trek, and that if he did come back, he wouldn't need a long rehab stint and not a lot of time to ramp up." He said if Brusdar comes back, he's done it many times over where he doesn't need to go through the whole process. He knows how to pitch in big games. If he's upright and throwing the baseball, he's going to go with them, and he's a guy he's going to bet on. So Brusdar Graterol, you can cross him off the list, and then you can cross off Evan Phillips off the list. So those are 2 of really the top guys heading into this season that existed already on this team that they were banking on to help this team in October. Both those guys gone. Then the big one is Tanner Scott. So Tanner Scott is scheduled to face hitters for the first time this weekend, and Dave Roberts has been saying a lot of positive things about Tanner Scott. He has started that throwing program weeks ago. He's been throwing since late July. And he's the guy that needs to come back and be that guy. He's the guy that needs to come back and pitch like a $72 million reliever. He had a 8.10 ERA in July, but he did have a 1.35 ERA in June. So I spoke to Tanner Scott early in the season, right when he started to turn things around towards the end of May. And one thing he said was, we looked at my mechanics. I was kind of opening up a little bit, and we've addressed some things, cleaned some things up, and he was able to be more effective. So Scott needs to be that guy for this team. And I know a lot of people want a dedicated closer. Those days are gone, because the truth is sometimes you're facing higher leverage situations in the 8th than you are the 9th. So you want to be able to match up your best relievers to certain situations. And the one thing I want to say about the whole Tanner Scott and the bullpen situation, and I do totally understand the frustration with Dodgers fans that say, oh, you should have got Mason Miller. Oh, you should have got Johan Duran. And I was a big proponent. Johan Duran was the number 1 guy I had on my trade deadline big board. He was on that list at the top for months. They didn't get him. And they didn't get him because they are betting on the internal talent, and they're trusting that those guys can come back and do enough to help this team win. So the truth is that the team that you wanted with the top high leverage reliever, with a big name, big money closer on it, the team that you wanted the Dodgers to build at the deadline, they think they've already built last offseason. So guess what? As frustrated as you are with the Dodgers, as frustrated as you are that they didn't just sell the whole store and sell all the prospects they had for top-level closers, well, guess what? The Dodgers wanted what you wanted, but they think they still have the potential to have that, and you might not. So that's where this is going, right? I mean, you look at the Dodgers. I mean, you spent all this money in the offseason, $72 million on Tanner Scott and $13 million on Kirby Yates. You bring back Blake Trinan. You got a lot of pieces to go to. If you don't trust that based on just one lead up to the trade deadline, then kind of what are you doing? It's almost like if you're at a blackjack table and you go to the blackjack table and you see the guy next to you that, man, he's going through it. He's lost all of his money on the blackjack table. And then you see him calling up his brother and he's like, hey, loan me $100 and I can win it all back, right? You can't just continue to try to win it all back and throw money at the problem and think it's going to work out. Now, if it was my team, I say parades over prospects. I would have done everything I could have to try to get a top-level reliever just because I'm all in on this team, and I want to see this team go back-to-back and do something that has been done a long time. But it's also understandable to think about different things, right? Things that maybe fans don't consider. Like me, I was talking to an insider, and one thing he told me was, hey, you got a new CBA coming, and you have a lot of uncertainty about spending power of certain teams, and when that comes around, you want to have your prospects because you want to be able to acquire guys through different methods, and by maintaining a farm system, you're going to be in a good spot. So, I mean, maybe that's a thing, right? Maybe that's an issue. Maybe it's, the offseason, they don't like the free agency class, right? They don't think that Kyle Tucker is that guy or Bo Bichette, and they want to add a star, but they want to do it with their prospects where you can get more value out of them in the offseason. So there's a lot of things that never get reported, that don't get discussed, that aren't really mentioned, that go into when a team does or does not make a move at the deadline. I think, look, at the end of the day, Phillies were extremely aggressive for Durant. You gave up 2 top 6 prospects to get him. They got him. Mason Miller, you have the third best prospect in all of baseball to get him. David Bednar, he started to pitch better of late. They paid a high price for him. So a lot of these guys that were traded haven't been great as of yet. And the thing about this Dodgers team is you still have options. It'd be one thing if they had no options. They still have some options. And another guy they need to get back is Kirby Yates. So Kirby Yates, he threw 19 pitches in a sim game. He went up against Justin Dean and Dalton Rushing. They both took 2 ABs against him. He had 3 strikeouts. And it was the first time that he had faced hitters since going on the IL with that lower back pain. And Dave Roberts said about his session, it was good. He felt good about it. So as we sit here on Wednesday, there might be an opportunity to send him on a rehab assignment in a few days. So another thing I want to point out too, and the reason why I'm kind of interweaving the current Dodgers and their injury status with the guys that have been traded is the same reason why you go out and trade for a guy or do not go out and trade for a guy. You have your own examples on your team of why you would be a little gun shy to going and doing that. For example, Kirby Yates last year, if you looked at his numbers, dude had a 1.17 ERA in 61 2/3 innings with the Rangers. This year, Kirby Yates, a year after, that jumped up to a 4.31 ERA in 31 1/3 innings. Tanner Scott, the big ticket item, their biggest reliever acquisition this past offseason. He had a 2.73 ERA with the Padres last year, but a 1.18 ERA with the Marlins. This year, a 4.14 ERA with the Dodgers. Relievers are volatile. One year they're great, next year not so much. Yes, there's outliers. Yes, the Mariano Rivera's and the Pete Kenley Jansen's and the Craig Kimbrell when he was great. I mean, there's plenty of examples of ones that have been good year to year, but to invest a lot in a position where every single year you just don't know what you're going to get, it makes you wonder, right? Did Andrew Miller lead to a World Series for the team known as the Guardians now? I mean, there are certain examples of teams that rely on their bullpen pieces, and there's other ways to get it done as well. And I think the other wild card, Michael Kopech. So Michael Kopech, he faced hitters on Monday in Anaheim. He's going to start a rehab assignment tonight in Oklahoma City. He's going to come in after Roki Sasaki, and he's going to go one inning. So Michael Kopech, he's incredibly important. And then there's Brock Stewart. So the Brock Stewart one is absolutely the most frustrating one because he's already on the 15-day IL. He's a guy that had never thrown more than 40 innings in a season. He had Tommy John in 2021. He had shoulder surgery last year, and he's already dealing with a shoulder injury this year. Dave Roberts said that it's, quote, pretty benign wear and tear. It's going to be a few weeks before he returns. I think he got an injection to calm it down, and I think it's a week of no throwing or something like that. Dave Roberts also said that they did an MRI, and it found no structural damage, and that the way that it looked, it was the best case scenario. So you need Brock Stewart back, and he's got to do some Brock Stewart things like we saw early in the season. But now I want to take a look at what a postseason bullpen could look like for the Dodgers, because I found it really interesting that it was reported in The Athletic that Alexis Diaz has had a trial run, but Fabian Ardaya wrote that it's expired. So that's interesting. And then we saw yesterday, yet Edgardo Enriquez come in a time where Alexis Diaz was available. So clearly they don't think that Alexis Diaz has given them what they had hoped he would give them. So is he going to be in consideration for the postseason bullpen? I would like to say probably not at this point. But you look at where it stands right now. So 14 pitchers, of course, because Shohei counts as one. But Blake Snell, Yamamoto, Glasnow, Ohtani, Kershaw, that's 5. Tanner Scott, Kirby Yates, Alex Vesia, Michael Kopech, Blake Trinan, Emmet Sheehan, Anthony Bonda, and Brock Stewart. So in that group, you already had 13, and you haven't said Emmet Sheehan or Jack Dreyer or Ben Kasparius, or you haven't mentioned Bobby Miller as a possible option or Kyle Hurt as a possible option. The cupboard is not bare for the Dodgers. It's just getting the main dogs back, right? Blake Trinan continuing to look more like himself. Getting Tanner Scott, Kirby Yates, Michael Kopech back. Those are the biggest keys. And I will say this right now. I think Shohei Ohtani is going to get multiple saves in the postseason for the Dodgers. I don't think they have other options down the stretch where you can say, you know what? We got to bring in that dude and get some WBC Shohei Ohtani out of him. And that's why I would go Shohei early on in a series, because you have the day off in between the games in the NLDS, and then you use Shohei Ohtani to close things out. So let's not forget that that's an option this year. And then Roki Sasaki, we'll see him pitch, see what he's able to bring. But Emmet Sheehan is not going to be in the starting rotation. Imagine what he looks like as a guy that's going into the bullpen. So the issue right now is bad timing. It really is. It's bad timing for this Dodgers team because there's multiple high leverage guys out, and the bullpen's already been incredibly taxed. And then the offense has struggled for a while, but then you got Max Muncy, who left the game, who didn't start yesterday, and Mookie Betts started in place of him. It's not serious with him, so that's going to improve the offense. But Mookie's hitting again. Like, Mookie Betts is hitting again. So it's not all bad. It really isn't. And I do think that this team is going to have to lean on a starting rotation this year if they're going to win it. But think about last year, that wasn't even an option to lean on a starting rotation. So I still really believe in the team. I mean, I really do. I mean, call me crazy, but I still think this team has a ton of talent, and I just like the fact that you have more depth and option. But you mentioned Edgardo Henriquez. I mean, There's other arms that you can go to. It's just getting the main guys back. If you get the main guys back, I don't think there's going to be that big of a difference in wins and losses right at the top, because I think you still need your offense to produce. By the way, I just want to say something about CB Buckner. That just an unbelievable level of incompetence yesterday by CB Buckner. I mean, Helen Keller could have done a better job behind the dish than CB Buckner did yesterday. I don't know if you saw this, but CB Buckner, he had an umpire score. Look at this. Look at these missed calls. Look at these missed calls, man. I mean, just all around the plate. Top of the first, Hendricks to Freeland. 3-2 count, ball called a strike. Detmers to Smith. 3-1 count, strike was called a ball. Just so many different examples. And look at the runs. It gave the Angels a run. And that was ultimately the difference in the game. I better not see CB Buckner call a postseason game. And this dude's making like, what, $400K a year? I mean, this is craziness. I mean, you need the ABS. You need the ABS, and you need it very, very quickly here. All right? Because some veteran umpires can make as much as $500,000. I got to know what CB Buckner's salary is, but can you imagine being this bad at your job and not getting fired? I mean, he was just atrocious last night, and it had an impact on the game. Just could not believe what I saw yesterday from the umpire. And I hate to blame the umps guy. I'm usually not that guy, and it's a lot bigger than that for sure. But still, I do think that that was pretty awful, no doubt about it. All right, so next up, let's do some designated Twitter. I'm going to spend a good amount of time talking to you guys on the 7th inning stretch because it's an off day. Thursday, no Dodger baseball. Little mental reset day heading into the Dodgers-Padres series. So let's do some designated Twitter, the best of Dodgers social media.
Designated Twitter, the best of Dodgers social media.
All right, so this one, the sports prophecy. If only we could be this bad at our job and not get fired. Yeah, absolutely. I think this is talking about that as well, about CB Buckner. I mean, just look at this. Just incredible stuff. Next one we got. Okay, I got to show you this one. KNBR, this is the Giants. This is the Giants affiliate. And it was the gif of Alonso Mourning where he's shaking his head, then he says yes. Where it's like he's mad at something and then he's upset about something, then he starts to get a little happy. It says, swept at home by the Padres, but allowing them to pass the Dodgers. That's how bad it's gone up in San Francisco. That they hate the Dodgers' success more than they care about their lack of success. Man, it's gotten bad in San Francisco. I never thought I would see that. I thought they were a proud franchise that was all about winning. Nope, they're just a franchise that cares about the Dodgers losing, apparently. Then we got this one. I don't know, this one kind of made me laugh. The Dodgers have acquired the Los Angeles Angels per Jeff Passan. That's from MLB on Facts. You got Mike Trout wearing a Dodgers jersey. You got Mike Trout wearing a little Dodgers hat there that everyone won a couple years ago. All right, let's see what else we got. We got talking baseball. Shohei Ohtani had a .333 average and a 1240 OPS with 3 home runs and a triple against the Angels this season as the Dodgers lost all 6 games. Tungsten arm O'Doyle. Man, that is some sad stuff, man. It was not great to lose that. There's CB Buckner. What else we got? Yahoo Sports, July 3rd, Dodgers first in the National League West by 9 games. August 12th, Dodgers and Padres tied for first, 68 and 52. It's the first time San Diego is in first place in August or later since 2010. Wow. That's pretty wild. That's pretty wild. I mean, I know the Padres haven't had a ton of success, but even that's a little surprising. Yeah, a little surprising there for sure. This one comes from Mac over on X. Just finished watching the Angels and Dodgers tonight, and then it's a broken TV. Yeah, this is a lot of Dodgers fans right now. But, yeah, if you guys want to submit on designated Twitter, post on the X or Instagram and do hashtag designated Twitter, and we will feature it on the show. But, all right, guys, now it's all about you in the 7th inning stretch.
The 7th inning stretch.
Okay, we got Dodgers Life. Those bullpen games Roberts was doing overworked the bullpen pens. That was definitely because you were missing so many starters. I mean, Yoshinobu Yamamoto is the only Dodgers starting pitcher that's remained in the rotation the entire year. So it was a byproduct of that and the organization as well. We've got the Turbo Duran 25-31. I was watching the game last night at my home, and I seen Dave Roberts talking to Conforto on the sidelines, getting on his case, and I hope it works out for him tomorrow against the Padres. Yep, he is going to be in the starting lineup tomorrow. That is Michael Conforto, and I do think that, look, I mean, he is fighting for his Dodgers life at this point. And this is a Dodgers organization that owed Chris Taylor $13 million, and he was hitting 200. They still DFA'd him, and Michael Conforto is hitting 187. By the way, I'm not like the biggest batting average guy. I mean, but I know that a lot of people kind of look at that as a statistic that they understand and whatever it may be, and that's fine. But let's not forget, batting average is far from the end-all, be-all. In fact, I mean, think about this batting average. If the batting average thinks that a single and a home run are the same hit, right, and it doesn't account for other things like that. So, but still, I mean, 187 batting average for Conforto is the lowest in baseball for hitters with a minimum of 150 or 350 plate appearances. But if you look at the Dodgers roster on paper right now, when Michael Conforto comes back, they're going to have a very difficult decision to make when everyone's healthy. So when everyone's healthy, Michael Conforto is back in that starting lineup, and they're going to give him every opportunity to try to hit and platoon him with Alex Call a little bit, with Alex Call getting some play there against left-handed pitchers. Well, look at the names. Shohei Ohtani, Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, Max Muncy, Teoscar Hernandez, Will Smith, Andy Pajes, Tommy Edman, Miguel Rojas, Dalton Rushing, you're at 10. And then you got 3 spots, but Kike Hernandez, if he's healthy and he's trending the right direction, that's 11. Alex Call is under team control until 2029. They're traded for the guy, and he's someone that could be a late-game defensive replacement, a fourth outfielder type. That's 12. And then you got Haesung Kim, who is someone that provides a lot of value as a versatile infielder, can play some outfield. I doubt you'll see him play outfield in the postseason, but he also provides value as a pinch runner because he has speed on the base pass. Are they going to bring back Kim just to send him down? And then, honestly, behind that, you got Alex Freeland as a potential option too. So I don't see how you could justify keeping Michael Conforto on this roster if that is the case. It just doesn't make a lot of sense. Dmac is from, we got some more Alex Renteria. All these problems have been there all year, but the excuse was, well, the Dodgers are still in first place. Now they're not. They're fading fast, and the problems are still there. I mean, it's a fair point, Alex, that when you're in first place, it does mask a lot of that. There's no doubt about that. I like the stock. Come on, John. You guys really agreed to that. Angel Hernandez 2.0 from David. What's happening with the Blue Squad? That's from Javier. Umpires very bad from Valea. We got they need to fire Mark Pryor. That's from Jack Nando. Conforto went hitless during batting practice and somehow hit into double plays. We got Johnny Owen not happy with Conforto. Antonio Morgan. Appreciate that, Antonio. Great work, Doug. Thank you for all you do. Thank you all your fans, man. You guys make this show what it is. Appreciate you guys rocking with us every single day. This is the Hardcore Dodgers Fans Dodgers Show. No days off. 24/7, 365, baby. Bilal K, stop it, Dmac, with his past stuff, and the Dodgers are not releasing Conforto this year. I mean, he'd be a really expensive bench bat. I think you have to consider solidifying your defense, though. I mean, as it stands right now, both corner outfield spots are below average defense with Teo and Conforto, and Andy Paz in center field is not a great center fielder. So I really, unless he starts raking, I think that he will not be on this team. And at the very worst, it is I mean, look, this is a team that you DFA'd Chris Taylor, a fan favorite. You DFA'd Freddie Freeman's best friend, Jeff, in Jason Hayward after he hit a big home run. You moved on from Noah Syndergaard. I mean, you DFA'd Austin Barnes. There's so many examples of why they would do it. So, I mean, I totally think that they think there's still a chance. Dustin May threw a shutout. WTF Jack. Yeah, good for him. Dmac, what is up with Roki Sasaki? Yeah, Roki Sasaki goes tonight. Hasn't been a great year for him so far, but he is healed from that shoulder impingement this year for Roki, a 4.72 ERA, almost as many strikeouts as walks, 24-22, that FIP at 6.16. So the thing about Roki, the number one thing I'm looking for Roki in his return is the effectiveness of that fastball, because we thought we were going to see a triple-digit heater from him that was dominant, and you pair that with that forkball. The big difference was supposed to be, can he find a third pitch? I remember asking Roki Sasaki in Tokyo about that and how important it is to find a slider, and he said it's going to be very important, but really it's been about getting back to basics with the stuff that he does well. And that 100-mile-per-hour fastball that was so explosive for him in the NPB, it really has been non-existent in the show. He's thrown just 2 pitches that have gone over 100 miles per hour since coming to Major League Baseball. And they both occurred in his first game when the Dodgers were taking on the Cubs in Tokyo. And you had the first batter that he faced, and then that was one that he fouled off, and then one where he struck out Seiya Suzuki. So outside of those 2 pitches, none north of 100 miles per hour, and opponents have teed off on it. I mean, all 6 of the home runs that he's given up have been on that fastball. Opponents are hitting 225, on base in 351 with a 411 slug against him. And that, I mean, slugging, that's a little below average, but the on base is something that you just want to improve upon. And the reason why he was throwing for less velocity was to try to command it more and to try to stay healthy, because I think the shoulder was bothering him, so it was overcompensating. So let's see how that fastball looks. Just a little peek behind the curtain at Dodger Stadium. I was up in the press box during his live BP last Friday, and you can hear the StatCast guys relaying that information to the Dodgers player development on the velocity, and they were saying he was throwing 95 and 96. So that's a live BP session. You expect the velocity to go up with adrenaline and game action. So I'm excited to see what it can be. I mean, I do think there's kind of a more of a just kind of get your feet wet type of year for Roki Sasaki, but still it's going to be important to have him, I think, finish the year on a high note. Let's not forget that he's under team control for a long, long time. They still have him for 5 years after this year. But hello, Dodgers Nation. What is up? Where's Mariachi Joe Nufo? It's a great question. I mean, really, we don't know if he's thrown yet for the team. And I'll try to get to the bottom of that, and we'll talk about that tomorrow. IK2207, if Roberts isn't having an accountability meeting with his players, then he's an idiot. Well, look, I will say this. I mean, if you're around there, I mean, these players have meetings every single day. I mean, they really, truly do. Do they have that one guy that's going to flip the bats and flip the table in the clubhouse and go crazy and go nuts? That's not really what they do. I mean, but let's not forget, what was the big thing last year in the NLDS? It was, oh my God, look at Manny Machado. Manny Machado was getting his guys around him in the dugout and basically telling the cameraman, hey, come show me be a leader. Come show me be a leader, this rah-rah guy, right? What happened after that? The Padres lost, the Dodgers won. So, I mean, the truth of the matter is the Dodgers faced adversity last year. But what did the Dodgers did the Dodgers not have enough fire? Did they not show you enough fire by coming back against the Padres, trailing 2-1 against the best team in baseball in a lot of people's eyes in that Padres team? They did that. So did a guy go rah-rah in the clubhouse? I mean, I think it's an overrated aspect of baseball. It's not football. Football is like, let's go. We're going to get pumped. Baseball is a concentration game. It's really about just overcoming the adversity and trying to forget the negative things and just use that as information building to try to go and have some success. So, yeah, I think that's gone overblown. I think this team has Hall of Fame character. they have championship DNA. And yeah, go ask these raw guys. Bryce Harper. Oh my God, Bryce Harper. Look at him fire up his troops. Bryce Harper fire up his troops. This and that. Did I miss the part where Bryce Harper's won a World Series? Did I miss that? Where was that? Did I miss that part? All these raw guys that people talk about, where are their World Series titles? Freddie's got the hardware. Mookie's got the hardware. Shohei's got the hardware. Muncie's got the hardware. Smith has got the hardware. Did I miss something? Baseball is the show me sport, man. It's the show me sport. It's the truth. The Dodgers have shown it. Okay? Hey, the truth is about that Padres team that everyone's talking about, this and that, and go, yeah, tip your cap. AJ Preller, just trading everything down in San Diego, trading the San Diego Zoo and SeaWorld and Blink-182 and Tony Hawk and the Tony Gwynn statue and the Channel 4 news team and everything they got down there to try to win. But he hasn't won. The truth is, I mean, like that's the truth. I mean, everyone talks about 2022 when they beat that 111-win Dodgers team. What'd they do after that? When the Dodgers beat the Padres in the postseason, it's en route to a World Series championship. Happened in 2020, happened in 2024. When the Padres beat the Dodgers in the postseason, we got the that's what's in, and they lost to the Phillies in the NLCS. So, I mean, let's just be honest here. Let's look at the scoreboard here. We'll wait on a word on Max Muncy, get some more updates on him. Fire Dave Roberts. Okay, Delirium Machado is cringe. A super chat. Shelly Lawrence. We need to get Dodgers magic. We just don't get a break. I mean, you look at yesterday, Andy Paz getting robbed of a 2-run home run. Even the triple play by Shohei Ohtani, they had like a 478 expected batting average on it. Yeah, there's been some bad luck, but they didn't create their own luck. I mean, what the Dodgers have right now is a personnel problem. That's it. There's a personnel problem out of the bullpen and some underperformance issues out of the rotation, which you're going to have occasionally, but I don't think it's getting talked about enough, is the rise of Mookie Betts. Like, the Dodgers, everyone talks about trading for players and this and that. If Mookie Betts, for the last 9 games, is the Mookie Betts you're going to get down the stretch, the Dodgers, they got an all-star hitter. You wanted your all-star hitter? There's your all-star hitter that wasn't hitting like an all-star this season that's on their roster. You look at Mookie Betts, and since the ovation, it's kind of crazy. It really kind of is insane when you look at this. But I'm going to give you the numbers right here. So before Mookie Betts got the standing ovation at Dodger Stadium, he was hitting .233 with a .305 on base, .358 slug, an 85 weighted runs created plus, 11 home runs, and 48 RBI. That was before. Since the ovation, he's hitting .359 with a .405 on base, a .487 slug, a 153 weighted runs created plus, 1 home run and 2 doubles, scored 9 runs and driven in 7 runs. It's kind of miraculous when you think about it. And if they're going to get that version of Mookie Betts down the stretch, it is like getting an all-star. It is like getting an MVP. And if he continues to hit like that, it's going to be huge for this offense. We got some ringworm cream. Dodgers are showing off. Ohtani needs to be more wise with who he surrounds himself with. Dennery, I don't think so. Channel 4 news team, Keith Potter. I think that they're separate incidents with Ipe and Inez Bolello and things like that. We need more information. I did see some funny tweets, though. I did see some funny tweets about that where they were talking about all that kind of stuff. Shohei Ohtani and multi-million-dollar scandals and this and that. Look, when you're at the top and you make that kind of money, people are always going to try to find ways to capitalize on you and get their payday for sure. So, yeah, we'll wait for more information until that. Kike provided the rah-rah last year, not here, and look what's going on. Steven Williams. Man, I've talked to Kike. I mean, Kike absolutely can rah-rah, but that's not what this team thrives on. It's more Kike wasn't rah-rah. Let's go and LFG beat these guys. It was, no, let's have some fun and keep it light, right? I mean, I remember talking to Justin Turner about this the other couple years ago, and Justin Turner, when I asked him about, having fire and emotion, all that stuff, he's like, yeah, the team that's winning always looks like they have fire and emotion because they're celebrating hits. The team that's losing isn't celebrating hits. So really, it's a domino effect, right? And you got to have production, and then you'll get the celebrating. I think that this whole rah-rah thing, were the Dodgers rah-rahing when they had the best record in baseball up until early July? I mean, was it crazy rah-rah then? And the truth is, Kike Hernandez is still on this team. So if they need to have him rah-rah, he can rah-rah for you. I mean, so let's just be honest, right? And that's kind of the truth there. Here we go. 3 runs per game. We've got Dave Roberts versus the Padres head coach. That's from Turbo Duran. Joe Kelly versus the Friars. I know, I wanted that. Nando's crazy. Douglas Anderson. Dmac, stop being a Dodger apologist. Face facts. For 2 seasons straight, they have had shortened training travel across the country. It's now showing up. They're burned out. And Roberts, I'm not being I think that sounds like you're being a Dodgers apologist. Yes, they have been saying that they have been internally probably affected by that for sure. But I think, the truth is they've used more pitchers than anyone in baseball, right? And so, if that's impacting that, then sure, that's an issue. But that's why you should be encouraged because, you're going to get some extra adrenaline and you're going to see that postseason light at the end of the tunnel, and that should bring the best out of this team. We've got Omar Rocha, 8690. Dmac, the last few days you kept saying, we need to move Mookie back to right field. I told you that wasn't the issue. His defense was there. It was just the bat. I still think that that's the best option for this team, though. It's great that he's hitting again, and all the credit to Mookie Betts. But for me, it's why didn't Mookie go to shortstop, right? Mookie went to shortstop originally because they needed him to. They needed a guy to play that position. Well, you have a need in right field, too, because Teoscar Hernandez has been statistically, by every single metric, one of the least productive and well-performing right fielders in baseball. So if you move Mookie to right, you move Teo to left, and you had Edmund in center, or you had Andy Paz in center, and then you had Edmund at short or second, and Miguel Rojas at short. That's a much better defensive team. And you look at where this Dodgers team is right now, defense matters, right? And I'm just saying if it was my team, because outfield defense matters. It really, really does, especially in the postseason. There's no doubt about it. Look at yesterday. Dodgers lost by a run, and CB Buckner gave him a run too. Teo's defense kind of led to a run, right? So what's up, Eddie Chavez? So, defense does matter. No doubt about it. All right, guys, do some more here. We've got but Mookie's on a bus to right field. Andre says, you MFers better show up to the games this weekend instead of crying in this chat. No, actually, go to the games, but still cry in the chat if you need to, guys. My whole thing is I just like to have good debates with you guys. You know what I mean? It's all fun for me. I love to just kind of talk about the nitty-gritty parts of baseball, and you guys make me think different things, and I hope it's the other way around too. So I think it's healthy for the discourse of this team. Dodgers need Dmac to ASMR in the clubhouse. Nando 390. What's up, Abe Huerta? What's up, Balauke, Drew Durr, Mr. Summer Obe, Nufu, Shelly Lawrence? I felt Teo should have caught that ball. That's the thing, right? He's been dealing with a foot. He's been dealing with a groin for a while. Stephen Williams says, rah-rah is not about cheering. It's spreading an urgency to pump up a team. I don't think this team lacks urgency. I really don't. Like Cole Kurtz points out, their age is showing. Yeah. Let's be honest. This is a team that's an older team that's played a lot of baseball. And if you look up and down this roster, a lot of these guys are having down years compared to their prime years. So that is an indication of some age being a factor as well. But I still think this team has enough talent for sure, even with the age. Bilal K, Dmac, explain why the guy in AAA who was raking is not being called up. That's Ryan Ward. Everyone you talk to about Ryan Ward will tell you that if his defense was better, it would increase his chances of playing. He has raked down there. He deserves his shot. I had my friend Casey Porter on the show a couple weeks ago, and he told me after Justin Dean got called up that was a slap in the face to Ryan Ward. So a lot of people believe that he deserves a shot. I wouldn't be opposed to it. I think this team is very hell-bent on having the non-superstars have positional versatility. Like, here's the thing. Like, imagine a guy like Ramon Laureano, right? The Dodgers wouldn't go for a guy like that because of his defense. He's just kind of plugged into one position, but he straight up rakes, right? So it's just different philosophies. Like, the Padres will zero in on just wanting to add a guy because of one particular thing he does great. The Dodgers want you to check off more boxes. So it's just a different way of building your team. Different way of building your team. All right, guys. So running out of time. We'll go back to you in a second here. Running out of time. But let's get to the walk-off.
The walk-off.
Hits the ball to right field. She is gone!
So a couple days, hung out with Adrian Gonzalez at his new pizza place, Sliceria in West L.A., and I asked him what is his dream Dodgers pizza party, and I want you guys to give me yours down below. Yourself and 4 other Dodgers, current, in the past, any Dodger in history, who would you pick? Here was Adrian Gonzalez's list, though. Who would be your dream Dodgers pizza party? You and 4 other Dodgers in the history of this franchise.
So I would definitely have Tommy Lasorda because he is so much fun. You know, he was around in spring training. He would be so much fun to have and to just conversate and have those conversations. Yeah. You know, he's the best. And I would have Dave Roberts. You know, he's one of my really, really good friends. I always enjoy being around Doc. So that's 2 right there. 2 other ones. I would have Sandy Koufax. I really enjoyed Sandy, the interactions I've had with him. And probably I would go with Don Newcomb. Or you know what? I'm sorry, Jackie Robinson.
Jackie Robinson. Hey, there's like so many names to pick from.
Yeah, I would have to have both Jackie Robinson and Don Newcomb so they could tell the story.
All right, Adrian, I knew you were a man of many talents, but now I've tasted your pizza. 10 out of 10. It was delicious. I also want to tell Dodgers fans, if you come here to Sliceria, right here on the corner of Sawtell and Olympic, it's a chance you could poke your head in the back and see Adrian Gonzalez here making pizza. I just want to congratulate you and thank you for joining us here at Dodgers Nation, my man.
Oh, thank you. It's my pleasure to be able to welcome you here to Sliceria and be able to make some pizza for you. So, yeah, come by Olympic and Sawtell. We're right here in the corner, parking below. So, you know, you got where to park here in LA, which we always know it's a tough thing. So, yeah, come visit us and thank you for visiting us.
My man, Adrian Gonzalez. So I want to know from you guys. I mean, who would you guys have as your dream pizza party? Yeah, Ryan Ward not on that 40-man roster, so you would have to make a move. And yeah, I mean, there's moves that you could make. Let's be honest. I mean, it wouldn't be too tough, but they don't want to shake things up. I mean, but it is pretty full. But I mean, you got like a guy like Matt Sauer, right? I mean, if you really wanted to go crazy with it, there's moves. Will Klein. I mean, they're trying to stockpile some depth there down at the minor league level. So I wouldn't put it past if they really believed that he could help this team. I mean, they can find ways to make moves. This team is as crafty at roster construction as anyone in baseball. Hey, appreciate you, Steven Williams. You're the man, dude. I love you, dude. We got Gonzo as a Dodger. Okay, this is your dream pizza party. I'm going to give you mine in a minute here. Jeremy Buckley, Vin Scully, Max Muncy, Clayton Kershaw are like that. Delirium, Tommy Lasorda, Don Drysdale, Vin Scully, Freddie Freeman, Oral Hershiser. Nice list. Dream Pizza Party, Kirsten Watson and Mary Hart from Nufo. Doing shoeies with El Turo and Vin Scully from Hemi Turner. Dusty Willis's dream one is Lasorda, Oral, Fernando Manny, and Kirk Gibson. I'd invite John Roseborough. Mr. Summer says Mike Marshall, Mike Sosha, and Zach Wheat. Bringing the Heat says 20th for a 20th and second baseman. Francie, Shohei, Will, Kershaw, and Miggy Rowe. I like that. Vin Scully, Mr. Sunshine, Adrian Gonzalez, and the Saved by the Bell clown. What? All right, I'll take that one. Is Is Kim the answer to our problems? He's not the answer, that's for sure. Jerry Dodgett. Okay. Yeah, he doesn't get any love, but he was Vince Scully's partner for all those years. Can I pick a Dodgers wives for the pizza party? Come on, Nando. Bruh. Douglas Anderson's kudos you, Dmac. Adrian Gonzalez, I loved him. The pizza must have been the bomb. If he got you to eat mushrooms on a pizza. You know me, man. I don't like my mushrooms, and I did crush that one. Honestly, I'm kind of into it. I like this would honestly probably be. I like this one, Philip Subia, Vince Scully, Clayton Kershaw, Sandy, and Ohtani. I think that I think I would have to do Vince Scully. Mine's pretty simple, honestly. Vince Scully, Tommy Lasorda, Jackie Robinson. Who else? I think I just get Shohei Ohtani. I know it's great. I just Shohei in that setting. I mean, I've seen Shohei in the clubhouse kind of be a little more of a normal guy. I'm just so fascinated with the dude. How do you not go Shohei Ohtani? Or let's see. I'm going to switch my list up. My four would be myself and Miggy Vargas, and Miggy Vargas. Okay, we got Blazing. So okay, give me your Rick Monday. I like that for sure. Dmac, Kirk Gibson, Oral Hershiser from Jeremy Buckley. All right, including me. I'll take it. All right, guys, so that is going to do it for this episode of Dodgers Dugout Live. If you do me a huge favor, hit the like button on your way out. Thanks for rocking with us here. Here's another one. Here's Bringing the Heat, by the way. Tanner Scott, Kirby Yates, Brick Stewart, and Robleski. Come on. Himmy Turner, Vince Scully. Okay. Nando says Dmac and Noel eat pizza with a fork. Okay. Shohei don't even like pizza. You try that tea. That tea's pretty good. I have his tea. All right, guys, so that's going to do it. We'll be back tomorrow. Dodgers, Padres. It's going to be electric. I'll be at the stadium. We're going to do a post-game live. My man, Michael Duarte, also Saturday, Sunday. Lock in. This is going to feel like a postseason series. It's going to be absolutely electric. The Dodgers with an opportunity to right the ship and get back into first place with Clayton Kershaw on the mound going up against Michael King. But all right, guys. My name is Doug McKain. Follow me on X and Instagram at DMAC_LA. Hit the notification bell. Hit the like button for your Los Angeles Dodgers. And remember that nothing, absolutely nothing, brings us together quite like Dodger baseball. And until next time, think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.
Start the party, Los Angeles! Your Dodgers have won the World Series!
And when the upcoming winter gives way to spring, rest assured, once again, it will be time for Dodger baseball.